some of the best fucking feedback bands.
Oh, for sure.
I haven't heard a band do feedback this well in a while. Well, at least like a newer band in a long time. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, by my Rock and Arm Merch co-host, Alexander Volt. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's usually a new discography per episode, except for these EAE singles episodes, where we cover typically a more recent one album. That's much easier and more relevant and current. And what will we be talking about today?
We'll be discussing the new album by Big Brave, and that is Nature Morte.
I think it's Nature Morte.
Morte?
I think.
I
think it's French, right? Because they're Canadian.
Yeah.
I think it's Nature.
I fumbled that one.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. If they were Italian, I think it would be Morte. I don't speak any of the languages. So I'm just going to shut up. The fucking accent I goo. Actually, that's why it's Mort, because if it had the little accent, it would be Morte.
Mike is
I remember my French now.
More knowledgeable in these things than I am.
I did take a year of it in college.
I never knew this.
I had to. I didn't want to, but I did have to.
It pays off in this podcast sometimes.
Look at that. My entire degree is going to work now.
Yes.
Big Brave. This is a band that we've talked about in several year-end episodes. Mm-hmm. It's a band we both like.
Yes.
And this album is new.
Yes, this, for those who don't know, Big Brave is a heavy band.
Very, very.
Probably mixes up some post rock if you want to.
Some post rock, some doom metal, some sludge.
Yeah, and I was introduced to that on their album.
I know it. I got it right. That's one, right?
Yes, A Gaze Among Them, and I was just blown away by that. And this one is perhaps their most punishing album to date.
100%. Definitely is. Gaze Among Them was my introduction as well. It was on my 2019 year-end list because you showed it to me. And I was like, oh, this is, I love this band. I mean, just giant, heavy sludge with really cool female vocals, which it's getting more common now, but at the time it wasn't quite as common.
Yeah, and even hers are still unique.
Yeah, they're still good.
Like, I know her vocals over, like, they stand out to me.
She has a thing that she does. Robin Wadi. They're French Canadians, and well, never mind. It doesn't matter. Well, no, it does, because the guitarist says Matthew, but it's spelled Matthew with like IEU. But yeah, very distinct voice. But that album, I love that album a lot. And then in 2021, they put out 2 records. One of them was a split. I forget with who.
With The Body.
Was it? Is it?
Yeah, The Body.
Oh yeah. I didn't love it. It was more like, if I'm not misremembering, I think it was like more on the experimental ambient side. And then Vital was like their main album. And I just fucking took a dump all over it in our 2021 year-end episode. It wasn't, I mean, like, how I felt about that was just like, you put it on and it's like, yes, fucking yes. It's just pummeling you. And then halfway through the album, you're like, they're only playing one note. And then at the end of the album, it's like they played one note on the entire album. Just variations of one note, which I have no problem with that usually, except when all the songs feel the same.
Yeah.
Which I think on that album, they did.
Mike likes the one song, doesn't like the one song 4 times over, 6 times over.
Yeah, because like I was thinking about, because this album, it's an extension of that. There's maybe like 2 total notes on the whole album, but I was like, then why do I like Early Swans? There's like no notes.
Yeah,
it's because the songs feel completely different. Like you go to Filth, and then each song feels like a different thing, even though there's technically not even any real melodies or notes or riffs on it.
In a lot of ways, to me, this does kind of feel like one long song.
Yeah.
Because some of these songs, you have the more like soundscape parts.
Yeah, real moody, real atmospheric.
Yeah, and then it'll eventually come around and kick your dick in the dirt again. Great opener.
Oh yeah, Carvers, Farmers, and Knaves.
That right there, I was like, this is for sure their like loudest, heaviest song.
This is actually quite a punishing album. Like it's probably their heavy. I mean, I haven't heard their earlier albums, but
I tried to get ahead of this one and get my notes out of the way a long time ago, but the first listen just like beat me down so much. I was like, I can't take notes during this.
It actually bummed you out the way like any kind of doom metal band would, I guess.
Maybe bummed out, maybe just like really like overwhelmed, not in a bad way, but like how do you even talk about like it's so much on the first listen.
I was jumping back and forth like how to actually describe these songs, because most of it's like it's pounding, it's really heavy and loud. One impressive fucking thing about this band that I didn't even realize until like a couple days ago, there's no bass player.
I didn't know that either.
2 guitar players. Those are 2 guitars, and you are not missing any low end here.
No, that's probably smart not having a bass player.
Maybe, but like I was thinking when listening to this, like how much more I would love this if it were live, because when you're live, like big, giant, heavy, you feel it, and it's like you just kind of almost get hypnotized by it. But on an album, it gets old, because we've heard, I don't know, there's something about an album, it has to be extra good, whereas you can kind of get by with the intensity of a live performance when you're right in front of it.
I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. The first time I saw Sun, I didn't know what Sun was or what they did. And after
shout out to Tim from Silkworm.
After like 20 minutes, I was like, doing the same shit. I'll give this like 10 more minutes, then I'm leaving. And I kept saying 10 more minutes until it was over to prove your point.
It's something, there's something mesmerizing about it.
Yeah.
It just, because I don't know, you literally feel it. I don't just mean like a stupid spiritual thing.
Like shaking.
Exactly.
Yeah, you feel the bass and the heaviness and the drones.
It feels good. It feels good. There was a story in that Swans documentary. It was some reporter, music journalist guy saying he was at one of the more recent Swan shows. And at one point, Jira just starts fucking no music behind him, just screaming into the mic, like just over and over again, just repeatedly, just nonstop, until he's like, all right, easy, buddy. And then he keeps going. He's like, this is kind of weird. And then he keeps going. He's like, this is amazing. And then right when he gives his final scream, they all come back together and jump right in at the same time. It's like, damn. Like, that stuff, like that's on a record. That would be annoying as fuck. Would it not? Like,
sure.
Yeah. But something about a live performance of it. But here, there's like several things that I love about this band that they think they do amazingly. But as an album, I think I still like it like light years more than the last one. But there are moments where like, I get the intention and I would like that live. But also Melvins did this a lot better. I got that a few times on this album.
I didn't really think about the Melvins.
I couldn't not think about the Melvins on My Hope Renders Me a Fool.
I was about to ask you about
Hung
that
Bunny.
one.
Yeah, it's all Hung Bunny. It's what Hung Bunny did amazingly.
Because I wrote, this is like one of the fewer bands where a track that almost clocks in at 5 minutes is like I don't want to say filler track.
It almost is.
It is.
It's like a transition song that's almost 5 fucking minutes. And it's so it's like basically the whole song, save for the outro, is the intro to Hung Bunny, except with only 2 notes. Where Hung Bunny had this incredible evil fucking riff. This is just 2 notes with a bunch of feedback for like 3 minutes, and then it cuts into this really, really cool instrumental. It's all instrumental, but this really cool solo guitar. And it's like, oh, we don't really hear them doing pretty arpeggios, or not arpeggios, but like, like just more atmospheric melodies in general. And there's 2 moments in the entire album where they go full pretty guitars.
Yeah. I do think in a way My Hope Renders Me a Fool is effective in setting up the next track, The Fable of
Subjugation,
because like the guitars are so, like the opening ones, I don't want to say they sound like wind chimes, but almost like if you told a guitar player, like, play what wind chimes sound like.
Yeah. It's all super atmospheric.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love about this album. I would say about the band in general, but I think that it's better on this album. Some of the up there in the top best fucking feedback bands.
Oh, for sure.
I haven't heard a band do feedback this well in a while. Well, at least like a newer band in a long time.
Yeah.
Very fucking really tasteful use of feedback.
Yes, especially on track 2, the one who...
Oh, Born's a Weary Load.
Yes, that is when the fuzz and the feedback kicks in on that. I believe it's more towards the end. This feels so fucking good.
Gets insanely heavy. That song has really, really good build-up. But of course, it's fucking... I mean, most songs here are like 9 minutes, but that is one of them. All right, before we keep running our stupid mouths, spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for some spring cleaning. They've already helped you tidy up all the nooks and crannies of your body's basement. Disgusting. But this year, Manscaped can help you get the perfect presentation on that beautiful face with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Make sure you look your best this spring by using code EAE to get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. We love Manscaped. We've used Manscaped. We've been using them for a long time. And if you're not a disgusting animal, you will too. It's time to tame your mane with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The sun is peeking back out, which means you'll have to show your face in the daylight again. So use the kit to make sure your scruff looks award-winning, whether you got glorious beard flow or some smooth, sleek cheeks. The kit starts off with the Beard Hedger, a waterproof cordless trimmer with a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of add-ons. It also comes with titanium coated T-blades that are tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Beard Hedger is a high-tech piece of art in a travel-sized package with a long-lasting battery, universal charging, and a strong motor. Next, the kit has the liquid goods to make you feel good, starting with the beard shampoo and conditioner. You can't treat your beard like you treat your pubes. All right, that's why the kit has a special shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your beard's natural oils to promote beard health. The Pro Kit also has Manscaped's Beard Oil. The nutrient-infused oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while still adding a little shimmer and shine to liven up the look. And cap it off with the Beard Balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, and moisturizes, bringing the amazing scent of fresh eucalyptus, rosemary, and lavender essential oils, the 3 most manly of all the oils. Not to mention the Beard Hedger Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts, a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So save 20% off and free shipping with code EAE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code EAE at manscaped.com. Focus on the face and use the Beard Hedger Pro Kit for the cleanest look in the game. All right, let's get back to it. So as much as I love Robin's voice, she doesn't got a lot of range, and she does the same thing on almost every song, not just on this album, but period. And the only problem I have with that is that it's in the same literal range of notes. It's all in mostly the same key, open fucking, what is it, a C or something, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So it ends up, every time her vocals come in, it just feels the same.
She almost has more like an appropriate voice for like punk rock or like a Riot Girl band.
It is snarly.
Then, this a weird atmospheric drone metal band, but also it's what makes them unique.
It makes it better. It's I like it here. I think it sounds great. It's just the lack of variation, and not only that, a lot of times the only song quality, quote unquote, is her vocal lines, because the rest of everything is just doing one note. So her voice is what's making the melody, and if it's always in the same fucking key, it is, especially with songs this long, all back to back. Yeah, it starts to wear on you.
Yeah. There are moments where it is her like screaming.
The screaming sounds, I think, lean into the screaming more too.
Definitely the most unhinged and wild she's ever sounded.
Yeah, and was it drummer's Tacey Hudson? I feel like I'm pronouncing every single one of these names wrong, but the drums are. Oh, it was produced by Seth Manchester. No wonder it sounds so fucking good. He's the guy who does all the linguist stuff. Does a lot of this type of stuff.
I was going to try to avoid bringing her up because I feel like some of the like screaming over cacophony is,
right.
In the same vein, but not her style. But that makes sense that.
Yeah. We all know how much I love Lingo, but at least one of the main reasons I like the craziness or the harshness in that project is because it's separated by these insanely beautiful melodic sections or songs. Here there isn't any of that. Like, there's no break from that. There's no. The closest you get are like the really lengthy 1 or 2 note drony sections.
Yeah.
Which end up just getting boring to me. So it doesn't work for me as a whole so much. But with the drums, they sound obviously great and they're really, really pounding. And one thing that this album does fucking great, it's like it rations the drums. It'll go a full 10, 15 minutes straight with no drums.
It does go a while.
Like a while.
I noted that on going back to the Fable of Subjugation. Like it goes a while in that song. And then when the drums kick in, they are very like rhythmic, hypnotic, almost like Morse code. Like,
yep. There's no straight 4/4 beat type things. Yeah. There's no like waltzes. It's just dung dung. It's primal. It's primal and it feels great. But the reason it feels better is because again that would get boring too after fucking 10 minutes. But when they go these long stretches without it, and then it comes in, it again like that Maxell fucking tape commercial. It blows your face back.
Yeah, picking and choosing is the picking and choosing of their spots is very cleverly done on this album.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
And then Parable of Trusting.
Oh right, of the Trusting. Yeah,
that one just like you think you're like fatigued on the brutalness of the album, but that one's like. Not yet. It could still get you.
I'd say I'm fatigued by the brutalness. By that song.
Okay.
By that song, that's where I'm like, all right, you're hammering on one note for a long time, for 9 fucking minutes. All right, I got it. But here's the thing. It's like that song will still scratch any fucking heavy itch. It's still super satisfying. It still sounds really good, and the vocals are still in the same key, but they still sound good. You swap that out for any other song, and then I like it. Okay. It's like it's just one song too many of that same fucking thing.
Yeah. For me, still work.
It's still on it. Still on it. The closer is the other moment of eerie guitars with these really mournful vocals. Was it the 10 of Swords? Very similar to the outro of My Hope. My Hope renders me a fool. And it's the shortest song. It's 3.5 minutes. And even the vocals are not like, I think there's lyrics, but they're really floaty and you can't really tell.
Yeah.
It's more like howls.
Would you say they're done in a Coco Rosie type?
I would never, ever compare this band who I like with that band whom I do not like.
I just always think of them being all mumbly and whispery.
Oh, they did the baby talk though.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a bad memory. Like having done that band. That's an interesting one because like the next request we have from the guy who requested Coco Rosie is not like that band. It's a much better band in my opinion.
Said how to redeem himself.
Indeed, but. Yeah, it's a good album. It will beat you into the dirt. It might make you feel like dirt.
Mm-hmm. I would still say, and also maybe this because it was like the album I got into that, if you're new to this band, I would still start on
with a Gaze Among Them.
A Gaze Among Them and then kind of explore everything else.
I still think that's the best album of theirs I heard.
Yeah.
I have not gone back to the early ones because they suck.
Yeah.
Wait, have you heard the earlier ones?
Yeah, I like them. I feel like, some bands are like working on their sound where it's like, it's good, but then what they'll become. And that's kind of how I feel about it is interesting reading the Bandcamp now about the themes of like dead nature.
Oh yeah, that's what it's translated to.
And all the the words they use to pad out the song. Because I guess maybe if I had known that's what it's meant, I would have thought about nature more during it. But
it certainly does feel like a dying of things. These songs absolutely feel like dying.
Yeah. Dying the album.
Kind of. And I love what this is so much and this style of things. I just wish there were more notes. That, honestly, I just crave riffs. I just crave something more to grab on. Because like bands like this or albums like this or whatever the fuck, where it's so focused on tone and feel and mood over the music itself or over the writing. I'm partial against that because I mean, it's cool. And it's just a preference, I guess. Cause I've had people who are like super music people, but they're all about the tone and the way it was recorded and how the whole sound is more so than has this song been written before. Mm-hmm. I'm always on the side of, I've heard that song before. Like, I feel like that's been written already. And with an album full of variations of one note, it's hard to be like, all right, fucking give me something.
Yeah. I guess also, to like in comparison with like Hems Ali, where that is another
or Helms Ali.
Yeah. Where like, that's another 3-piece. And they got the riffs.
They sure do. They got the riffs.
They also have the big pounding drums.
Yes, they do.
I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but
it's a simple one because like they're not night and day. But Big Brave is much heavier.
Yeah, I would love to see those two bands tour on each other because I've never seen Big Brave live, and it's been a minute since I've seen
Helms.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
That would be a fucking awesome tour.
I'm certain this band fucking absolutely rips live. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And one thing that made me kind of double take or second guess that was the fact that there's no bass. Like, does it translate live like two guitars? Will it feel as beefy as the records do? Like, I hope. I don't know. I hope.
I feel like it would. I've seen Ohm
but Ohm has got a bass.
yes. But this, I guess I'm just bringing it up where it's like minimal amounts of people on stage, and they still bring it.
Yeah. Fucking.
Also, Boris is pretty fucking noisy.
They got a bass though.
He's got the bass /
Oh yeah.
One of those guitars that are like two guitars.
Yeah. That's probably bad for the lower back to carry that around all the time. And of course, Big Business, obviously, fucking huge. And then Lightning Bolt. Okay, there's a lot of bands that can really rock. Not having Lightning Bolt is a bass. Lightning Bolt is a bass with a banjo string, but there's no guitar. And the same with Big Business is a bass. But
yeah, and then you're not going to like it. And I've never seen them live, but I've seen live footage. I feel like the White Stripes bring the ruckus live. So
really, there's like chunk and low end to it.
Yeah, like I have like a White Stripes DVD that I enjoy watching from time to time.
Have you seen them live?
I never got to see them live.
I'm sure they have great sound guys because I always think of a guy we know who had a 2-piece, and every time I would see them, I was like, there's no bass, there's no like low end, there's no oomph. All I hear is a bunch of really crunchy notes. There's no like you miss it. So I always worry about that with guitar, with a thing specifically when there's guitar and no bass.
Yeah,
specifically that because it's a thing where like you don't realize how important it is until it's gone. People take bass for granted, but it gives you that power, baby.
Does matter.
Yeah,
does matter.
Absolutely.
Unless you're a psycho like Mike and you figure out a way to
turn your guitar into a bass.
Yeah,
it's still lacking, but it's the best I can do at the moment.
I guess overall, would you recommend this album?
Oh yeah, I didn't really think about like this might actually still make it onto my year-end list. Yeah, it's still very good.
Yeah, so yeah, overall, Mike has his gripes about it. I have a few problems with it, but
what are your problems with it?
Just getting lost in the ambiance. Not to the extent that it did for you. Like, I still think it's cool, but also it's just like I know what the peak of this band is, and I'm not saying this isn't good, but like, yes, still left me wanting a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the rippage of A Gaze Among Them with the brutality of this one would be my wet dream.
And yeah, I kind of feel like an asshole saying that because like they recorded this album, and I don't ever want to be one of those people to be like, oh, I think a band should do this, or a band should like, I think a band should do whatever
the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, and what they think feels right. But yeah, I still think this is a solid listen worth seeking out for heavy music fans, especially those of the drone and screaming cacophonous things,
doom style Amenra kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe you checked out our year-end thing and you liked Helms or you like Chat Pile.
Yep,
this is very much with those groups.
Just sludgier.
I
think I'd say the sludgiest of all of them.
Yes. Very, very unique sound though. If you're new to the band, and in that way, like we're spoiled too because it's like we've been listening to them for a few years now.
Yeah.
But if you're brand new to this band, really unique sound. Great band that I'm rooting for.
I do root for them, especially with the feedback stuff, because that's the thing I think is more taken for granted than almost anything else in rock music is how to make good feedback, or how to make feedback cool and interesting. Like, I mean, no one needs to fucking suck the dicks of Nirvana more than they already do, but Kurt Cobain was one of the kings of feedback. Absolute kings of feedback.
Radio Friendly Unit Shifter is just a good example of how to
it's basically a song, just the feedback intro.
Yeah, in a way, like it does have some, dare I say, melody.
Yeah. It's and this isn't like that.
Not at all.
No, but it is like, without the feedback, this is a boring album. That's how important I think it is to the sound in general.
For sure. I don't want a unplugged version of this.
Oh my God. Imagine that.
You know what? They're so talented. I think they would figure out a way to rework it. But as is, note for note, you don't want an unplugged.
I'm going to go ahead and say, if you're going to do this unplugged and add a bass.
You would need to rework it a little bit.
Yeah. Then again, it's easy to say that, but then Melvin's pulled it off pretty fucking well.
Yeah.
Really, really well.
Mike loves that acoustic Melvin.
5-legged dog, baby. That's a good one. But yeah, if you heavy music fans, you simply especially with like, I don't know how many other albums coming out this year are going to be this fucking intense and pummeling.
You know, rumor has it, we don't know the date yet, but Oxbow is
you're right.
It's on the horizon somewhere.
On the horizon. So is Swans.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
it's going to be a very dated episode when those are obviously come out, but never mind. It's going to be a good year. Check this one out too.
Going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year.
Not going to be heavy, but you know, in a short amount of time, it'll feel like tomorrow. We got the Metallica album coming out. That's a different kind of heavy, but
oh yeah, it'll be a good year, and I think this has a strong chance of being on my year-end list.
Yeah,
this is still a fucking good band.
Great band. Glad they exist. Usually for a long while, I was like, nothing good comes out of Canada. These guys are from Canada.
A lot of bad comes out of Canada. And by bad, I mean just like, huh? What? Okay. It's like more like
Nickelback,
not even paying attention to, just
Rush.
Fucking stupid ass Rush. No, I don't mind Rush. I mean, Godspeed comes out of Canada.
Oh, that's true.
It's pretty good.
Sum 41.
Really?
Avril Lavigne.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know any of these. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good that comes out of Canada.
Bare Naked Ladies.
No Means No. DOA. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
punk, a lot of punk stuff, I guess.
I'm new to No Means No, so
we will cover them sometime in the future. Who knows when, but sometime in the future.
Also legitimately good artists from Canada. There's like this new wave of Canadian music for Backwash.
Backwash is Canadian?
Yeah.
Shit.
Her family's from Nigeria, but she grew up in Canada.
You can't even like mention Canada as like as a thing where like, it just seems so like easy to trick us. Like, oh yeah, they're from Canada. Didn't see that. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's a bunch of good shit from Canada. I mean,
it's not like they're Boston.
Okay. Listen, that had a great punk scene.
It's been a while since I've trashed the good people of Boston.
Oh, I know. But yeah, check it out if you want. It's fucking rad. You should find a link to this full album in the description. And do that, please. And thank you. Thank you for hanging out and watching and listening and blah, blah, blah. If you want to hang out with us further, please subscribe, leave comments, talk some shit to us if you want to do that. And you can join the Patreon if you want to actually suggest some stuff for us. If you join the lowest tier or $5 tier, you get to join the Discord, be a part of our community, and suggest our EAE singles episodes just like this one. Whatever album coming out this year you want to hear us talk about, throw it on there. We will probably cover it. And if you want to actually get us to do more, a full ass discography, that is our tier 2, Bigger Than Jesus. That one takes us a lot longer. It's way more taxing and time consuming, and it's a whole to do, honestly.
Mike has a legitimate real job that
it takes up a lot of time.
It does. So
we had to postpone like 4 days or 3 days because I was putting in some overtime. Not that I wanted to, but little
hold on, I want to get it right. Little TCB over here.
Little TCB. All right, you gotta take care of your business. Security. If nobody, you know what? I should explain what that is. I should let people wonder what the fuck you're talking about. It's the Elvis movie. You should watch the Elvis movie.
Or just watch clips of it like I did. It's funnier that way.
I've never seen the movie. I don't plan on watching the movie, but that one clip, it's phenomenal, of Elvis losing his shit to Tom Hanks on stage. It's pretty good. Yeah. And there's also bonus episodes. We're putting some loose ends exclusively to there. Yeah, only on Patreon. Yeah, and you get to see our schedule in advance. You get to vote on polls to decide who we're covering next. It's all good stuff. So do that, please, and thank ya. Follow me on all social media at PanderMonkey and Alex on Instagram at
Every Album Alex.
Hell yes. Don't forget to check out our history guy, Tom Osman, who does a bunch for us, gets us interviews, fucking digs up a bunch of dirt on these bands. So you can find him at TomOsmanSounds.com, as well as the Substack, TomOsman.substack.com. As well, it's his latest album, his collaboration with Existent Non-Existent, Industrial State of Mind. You can find links to all that in the description.
Significantly improves the quality of this podcast for you guys.
Insane how much he does. Like, insane. We would just skirt by on Wikipedia stuff, and like, what if I knew the band or you knew the band, we would like pull out shit out of our memories. Now we have quotes.
I used to work a lot harder on this podcast. Now I can focus on the listening,
and the listening is so time consuming. That's enough. I'd say it's enough. Check out my EP too, Pounder Monkey. You find a link to that in the description too. It's rad. And what else? I think that's about it. So if you, you want to end it with a song? These are beefy songs.
You know what? I think we could just play like, there are better songs, but I think this playing the opening track would be,
it would get the idea across. That's for damn sure.
And it is the most medium length of track.
Yeah, it's only 7 minutes, guys. Get with it. Fucking shut up.
I do think Fable may be the best song on the album, but this is a better jumping off point.
I don't disagree with any of that. So hell yeah, this is Carvers, Farriers, and Knaves. Thank you so much for listening. See ya.